At Envy Labs, we build web applications that start with an idea. They move through strategy and need an outside eye ahead of wireframes and technical specifications. There's design and layout and functionality, but there's also performance, things like accessibility and data visualization. It all comes together for what ultimately is a successful launch. Over the past decade, Envy Labs has built platforms that pair things like data and sports or environmental science. We've built technical training platforms around data science and around network administration, and we've bootstrapped and sold our own product. We are a temporary CTO and an outside specialist in strategy, design, and development. It takes a lot to go from idea to launched web application, but it's all right there in our name. Reach out to hello@envylabs.com and let's take a look at your idea together.
Fries and shakes Oviedo Mall. Best burger you'll ever eat. It's worth the drive.
Hey, what is up, everyone? My name is Susie, and I'm a full-time partner streamer on Twitch.tv. I've made it my mission to help gamers win in every area of life. So whether it's helping you win in gaming by teaching the latest tips and tricks on whatever games you might be playing, helping you win in fitness through my daily fitness streams, or even just helping you win in your week, we're building genuine community, and we've got a place just for you. So I want to encourage you right now to follow me over at twitch.tv/SusieLive. I stream Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and we hope to see some of you soon.
Well, the time is finally upon us. The FBA championship is here, and these are the two teams we thought it was going to be the whole time, or we can hopefully say that now. Jesse O, Alvin Delvey, and crew here to bring you the FBA finals. This is game one between the Florida Flight and the Clermont Crocs. Both teams have worked extremely hard to get to this point, and finally they have made it. It's been 6 months in the making, as we're going to go down to the floor for our starting lineups presented by Poly Wealth Management. So we got our guys on the floor. The starting lineups for the Clermont Crocs features Kenny Long, Kyle Clark, Steve Toyloy, joined alongside Cornelius Reynolds, and I don't think I missed anyone there, actually. Mo Williams. There we go.
Well, Jesse, I'm already liking some of the matchups. Billy Aristai is going to give some beef on the block with Steve Toyloy. We got a couple of guys that are fixing to go right now, getting dapped up by the Grant Gullett, one of the premier stars in this league and in this Florida Flight team, and just excited to see what type of a show he's going to put on for us. We got our fantastic crew with us. Jelly running around on the court, showing off that king athleticism. It runs in the bloodline.
The king athleticism, I love that. And so, Alvin, your early picks for who is about to win this game and why?
Well, I think it really depends on the attitude of the Flight, because I think this is their game to lose. However, in their last game versus in their technical difficulties, but in their last game, throughout the game, there was some issues with effort, and I think they will not be able to have the same luxury in this one. The Crocs come in and they play intense defense throughout the entirety of their games, and they put a lot of pressure on ball handlers, and they're going to get in their face and do the things that we're accustomed to seeing them do. So the Flight is going to have to come out for 4 quarters and play very well. And on this Croc side, as long as they can knock down shots, look for their guys in their spots, and try to make sure that they're doing the things they need to do with ball movement and sticking true to the culture that they've instilled in this team, I believe they'll have a phenomenal game.
And so you got specific guys on the Flight that you're really going to look for. Brandon Moss, the leading scorer in the FBA this season. Another guy who is top 5 in scoring and in rebounds in the FBA is Mr. Grant Gullett, and he gets the start in this game today. And you and Greg Kite yesterday both took Grant Gullett as your MVPs of the semifinals. And how much do you think he's going to impact this game here?
He has a huge impact on this team. He's a pure leader for this team. The effort he brings and just his skill set. He's able to score off the dribble. He's able to shoot the 3 and stretch the defense out. But he's also able to go and bang on the block and get boards and do things like physicality and fight through screens and things of that nature. He's just so phenomenal on and off the ball. And I believe it's going to have to go through him. Obviously, we know what Brandon Moss brings to the table, and he's a phenom. Athletically, he's extremely gifted, and he's able to do crazy things with the basketball. Elliot Glegg's able to shoot the ball very well, and you have a lot of guys coming in and do their job. But I think it's definitely going to go through Grant Gullett.
So the ball is live, and it's won by the Flight, and they'll start things off here. And before the action really gets going here, we want to take a second and thank our fantastic producer, Jerry Pettit, for all that he's done this season for us. He keeps us looking good. He keeps the broadcast looking good. We would never be where we are today without Mr. Jerry Pettit. So thank you so much, Jerry, and we wanted to dedicate this first game of the finals to you, sir. Down low, Cody Hoff misses that one. Kenny Long back up top. Kyle Clark for 3 off the mark. The rebound by Elliot Glegg. So the starting 5 for the Florida Flight: Elliot Glegg, Grant Gullett, Billy Aristide wearing 31 in this ball game. A foul down low on the floor. Billy Aristide wearing 31 for Seth Hilton, Caleb Winfrey, and Brandon Moss.
Any other matchup, I love Cornelius Reynolds on, but with Grant Gullett, the problem is that Cornelius Reynolds is very long. He's very athletic. He's able to do things defensively that you just love. You're able to put him on really 1 through 5. However, a guy like Grant Gullett, he's just so strong, and right there you see him use that weight. He's able to bang in the post, and that's going to be a tough task for Cornelius Reynolds. In his last game, you saw him have just insane chase down blocks, and love to see the athleticism. So it's going to be a good matchup. Just want to see how he's going to be able to handle that strength.
Grant Gullett this season from the line, 70% from the line. Yesterday he was 11 of 16. He makes the first one there, and the first point in the FBA finals goes to Grant Gullett, who now has his team up 1-0 in the ball game. Kenny Long with a little flipper up and in. So Long, he was kind of the emergent shooting guard / point guard for this team when Montel Williams left. They also lost Austin Mills. And Kenny Long now has his team up by 2. He did pretty well last game, 10 points of 50% shooting from the field. Brandon Moss inside, couldn't get that one to fall. Here's Cornelius Reynolds, other direction. Now down the left lane, in on Aristide, now to the left. Cody Hoff, good ball movement here by the Clermont Crocs. Different styles of basketball between these two teams, and that ball is sunk by Kyle Clark.
Kyle Clark loves the lighting in this gym. He's just been knocking those mid-range down with efficiency. Last game, he was able to knock them home at a high clip right there to start the game, knocking one down. Great job by the Crocs early on.
Clark with 11 points in their last contest yesterday. 3 on the way. Billy Aristide, no. And the rebound by Cornelius Reynolds. Billy Aristide, a late addition to the Florida Flight this season, but shooting 43% from beyond the arc as a big man. And Cornelius Reynolds misses that one. Kenny Long the rebound. And one thing we've seen is if the big guys box out, the little guys can get in the mix and grab those boards.
And that's just the culture that they've instilled in this team. Kenny Long being the beneficiary of a tough and aggressive mindset.
Glegg rising, and it's just off the backside of the rim. Here comes Kenny Long, other direction, a 4-1 game. Clermont Crocs are up by 3. Long, a bullet left side, and that ball is blocked by Caleb Winfrey, who was Seth Hilton's best friend before he unfortunately passed. Caleb Winfrey getting his first start late here in the season. 3 from Glegg off to the left side. So Glegg a little bit off the mark early in this one. The bounce pass right. Reynolds against Gullett. And the rebound by Toiloy. He's fouled by Caleb Winfrey.
Caleb Winfrey doing a great job on that last possession, so block a shooter. The percentage of you actually getting that block and not fouling is so low that typically they say not to jump, but he was able to do that in this game, and he's also done that early on in the season, able to stretch those long arms up and get that block right there. Steve Toiloy able to bang on the block and get some points, or the opportunity to get some points.
So Toiloy from the line shooting 43% this season, Alvin.
But he's a tank, so big guys don't necessarily have to shoot free throws as well if you're able to do the things he's able to do on the block, but right there comes away with 2 points.
Toiloy last game, 23 points, 14 rebounds in their victory over the St. Pete, tied 124-118. The 3 seed beat the 2 seed, and that was our upset here in the semifinals, something we did not expect. The Clermont Crocs have been solid all season, and so has St. Pete, but you know, St. Pete did have their mishaps yesterday as Gullett is fouled again and goes to the line for his 2nd time in this ball game.
And speaking of upsets, the Mighty Oaks played phenomenal in their upset attempt in their last game versus the Flight. They lost in overtime, but wow, the effort they put out, and those guys played so well for the Mighty Oaks. Got to give an honorable mention to them. They did a phenomenal job as an expansion team coming in and doing a good job under Coach A.J. Stallworth, and love the culture they have. But that gives even more credit to this Flight team. The way they're able to fight and battle in that game versus a stunning Gainesville team is just phenomenal. Right now you're going to see them battle it out against this Croc team, who's the culture that they instilled from start to finish has just been phenomenal.
Jonathan Johnson played out of his mind yesterday. Gullett sinks the 2nd one. And Johnson was really trying to will his team to a victory.
Just great energy throughout that entirety of that game, getting offensive boards and really doing all he could.
Moss almost swiped that one away. Reynolds recovers for the Crocs. Now he'll pass out quick to the right side. And Cody Hoff for 3. Right wing, and that's the first made one for him of the ball game.
Cody Hoff is a playoff superstar. In his last game, he had 23 points, 7 of 13 from the field. But get this, he was 50% from the three-point line, getting 3 of his 6 attempts to fall.
Long left side, saw Brandon Moss and decided to come to a halt. Now running underneath, Reynolds. The bounce pass inside to Toiloy, and Toiloy the easy put through. It's an 11-2 ball game.
That's a safe bet. Giving it to Steve on the block.
The Florida Flight coming off a 123-115 victory over the Gainesville Mighty Oaks in overtime. And Grant Gullett fouled yet again. So Gullett already with his 3rd trip to the line, deciding, you know what, he's just going to be aggressive and take over this game if he needs to. An 11-2 ball game. Grant Gullett last game, 36 points, 19 rebounds, and 3 blocks for your favorite player in the FBA, Alvin.
Easily, and it's very smart to do. He can stretch the court out. He can definitely shoot the 3 ball, shoot the mid-range as well, but you start the game off being aggressive, forcing these guys to sag off of you, and then your shots are just going to become easy. You get a feel for the game. He's getting his shots up at the stripe, so he knows he still has a touch on the basketball. That mid-range jumper is going to fall. He's going to be able to get those 3 balls to fall later on, but just wear them out. Get the team fouls up, get some players in foul trouble. It's just a smart way to approach the game.
He swishes the 2nd one through. So Grant Gullett with all 4 points for the Florida Flight, an 11-4 game. Crocs with possession up top, Montel Williams. And they're going to run like a 3-2 zone defense. And that one tapped away by Gullett. Almost had a steal there. Bounce pass down low to Reynolds. Running baseline. And a 3 seconds in the key on the offense.
Right there, that zone seemed to work. Switching from man to zone might be the key for this Flight organization.
Moss having some trouble with that one. That was tapped back. So here's Kyle Clark against Brandon Moss, and Moss trying to flip it up and in, and he couldn't get it to fall. Reynolds another board, He's averaging 27.5 points and almost 12 rebounds per game this year, so a double-double up top, off to the right side. Gullett the rebound.
That's a big boy board over Steve Toiloy.
So a fast break, and the alley-oop! The first one of the game, Elliot Glegg to Brandon Moss. It's an 11-6 game.
This game, we're going to see a lot of them, not because they're just flashy.
Clark right back for three, right wing.
Phenomenal job answering right back with Clark. The Kobe's speaking for him. But that alley-oop pass is actually going to be the most efficient way to move the basketball against this aggressive defense.
Moss going right, flips it that direction. Grant Gullett for three, just misses left. 6.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Reynolds, one dribble to the right side, and he missed the layup.
Heard the footsteps.
Glegg to the right corner, Aristide, no.
Daring him to take a jump shot, but he's shooting 43% from beyond the arc. That's not something you want to continuously do.
Left corner again, Cody Hoth, no, off the mark on that one. The Florida Flyer 1 for 9 from the field to start off this ball game, Alvin. Moss inside, it's good! And a charge.
That's a great job by Mo Williams, getting his feet set right in front of Brandon Moss. That's a phenomenal job, and really holding this team to 1-9. That's a spectacular job by the Crocs. You see the discrepancy in the scoreboard. Granted, it's only the first quarter. Both of these teams come alive in the second half, but this is something you want to pay attention to. And wow, another thing we want to pay attention to. Look at the shoe game by Daniel Luna coming in with the electrifying Kobe's. Wow. Shoe game's looking pretty good. Cornelius Reynolds, I'm not sure what those Nikes are. I've seen them on a couple of guys, but love the flashiness. The Kyrie's by Montel, Kobe's by Clark.
There's a three, Montel Williams just short.
Just trying to channel his inner Kyrie versus your Warriors.
Well, yeah, that was a tough one. The second year.
The first
one was good for me.
You know, I always got to rub in as much dirt as I can.
Yeah, well, I got two extra ones. There's Brandon Moss down the lane.
That's
his first two.
Great jump stop by Brandon Moss. Love to see him get aggressive and finish the way only he can.
And a stolen ball by Grant Gullett. Down low, and Terry Cleveland putting it through.
Cleveland, this is for you. Sock game is spectacular once again. I want to say those are Garfield socks. Oli and Garfield, love the sock choice. Odie, right?
Down on the right block there, Steve Toiloy.
Picking up a big assignment, Steve Toiloy with Grant Gullett.
That one's off the mark, and Steve Toiloy the rebound. A 6-point lead for the Clermont Crocs, 4.5 minutes to play in the first. Reynolds off the front. He's still hunting for his first three of the game. Moss, left side. Went free. The mid-range is lethal. And that one's just off the front. And a timeout taken by the Clermont Crocs. This is game one of the FBA Finals. 16-10 the score. 4 minutes and 12 seconds left to play in the first. All presented by Poly Wealth Management.
Poly Wealth Management is an innovative provider of wealth management and financial planning services. For over 2 decades, our advisors have been providing clients with sound, professional, and unbiased financial advice, investment management, and wealth planning. Our philosophy has remained unchanged through the years, and that is to make what can be a complex process straightforward and easy to understand. We specialize in the creation and protection of wealth through comprehensive financial, insurance, and retirement planning.
10-16 ball game. Loving the defense from this Croc organization, forcing the Florida Flight into some sticky situations.
Well, it's a 16-10 ball game, so let's not get out of hand at the beginning here, Alvin. We're just going to stay calm, even though it might not be that way for me, at least, with another 2 minutes of gameplay. But we'll go back down to the floor and see what happens, because both of these teams, pretty similar records in this season. The Clermont Crocs were 11-3 to end the regular season. The Florida Flight were 12-2, and both had won their semifinals games. A catch and shoot from Mo Williams off to the right side. Both of these teams not shooting terribly well from three. The Clermont Crocs 25% this season, and the Florida Flight 28% from beyond the arc. So they take a lot of them. That's the thing.
They do take a lot. That's a great look by Mo Williams. Love the way he was able to get that pass stolen, looking like Ed Reed, and then drop the no-look off to Turner. Wasn't expecting it, but if he keeps facilitating like that, his guys be ready for it and make a big play down the stretch.
Blake getting around Mo Williams inside. Grant Gullett fighting for a rebound, and that one tapped around, brought down by Reynolds. So now Reynolds running the floor. Other side, the block by Moss.
Man.
Unbelievable. He rises higher than I think anyone I've ever seen in my life.
You cannot lay it up around Brandon Moss. That is not something you can afford to do.
Nicholas Turner inside from the restricted area puts that one through. It's an 18-10 game.
This is going to be a tit-for-tat game coming down the stretch. Both of these teams are second-half teams. I'm so excited to call the second half of this basketball game.
That one, Blake just lost. Maybe nerves, a little bit of pressure in the air?
Oh, a little bit of pressure. These guys are swarming the Flight, not allowing them to be comfortable in their dribble. Right there, he was trying to explode but forgot the basketball and ended up bouncing off his foot. That's just, you could tack that up on the Crocs defense.
An 18-10 game. 3:04 left to go in the first. Mo Williams up top. That one's an air ball. Moss the rebound. So they're going to double team Moss all the way up top. The bounce pass to Gullett, and he just forgot it.
That was a great pass by Brandon Moss, facilitating just a little too much sauce for Grant Gullett to handle. And once again, Braden Carter plugging the broadcast crew, doing what he does, making sure everyone is feeling good, looking good, taking a couple notes out of Jerbear Productions playgroup.
Braden Carter and Brandon Parham running stats today. Bounce pass just a little bit long. Reynolds able to recover in the back right corner. Now he pulls up to the free throw stripe. Does not hit. Turner fighting down low with the big men for the Flight and able to make that. And now the Clermont Crocs with twice the score of the Flight.
Love that play from Turner right now. He is locked and loaded. That's a big boy move. That's championship mentality, championship energy. Love the way he's approaching this game.
The Flight turn it over. Cleveland on the ground. And I will say the officials doing a way better job of letting him play this out today.
100%, because this is championship. This is game one of the finals, and you're going to see a lot of these long passes, a lot of these ill-advised passes. They seem like the
Moss getting all the way through the lane. On the other side, we saw Caleb Winfrey block.
Oh my goodness, the way he's able to maneuver with the ball, just so swift, so clean, and he's able to do it with a quickness. But you're going to see a lot of these passes, and guys are unexpecting it because they're not accustomed to playing this type of basketball. This is so intense. This is the most intense game we've seen all season.
The Flight 4-15 from the field. Mo Williams sinking the mid-range from right up top.
That mid-range has proven very lethal for this Croc team. They're able to capitalize on it multiple times in their last game, and right now there has been no difference.
Back to a 10-point lead for Clermont. Glay guarded by Williams, going right, and looking that direction, will pass that way. Winfrey inside, and an offensive foul, the second one here in the first quarter for the Florida Flight with 1 minute and 11 seconds to go.
That's a big play. That is such a big play for Daniel Luna to get in there, put your body on the line, draw that charge in those Kobe's. Oh my goodness, I'm loving this for one half of the Lunatics. Right now, the Clermont Crocs are going on a roll, but we all know what this Florida Flight team is capable of in the second half.
Mo Williams, long two, bounces in.
Mo Williams getting activated. The Kyrie's giving him a little bit of boosties, so to speak, having himself a great game.
The shooter's touch. The Flight back at half the score of the Crocs, 24-12. 47 seconds to go in the first. And Moss traveled, another offensive turnover.
That is great job by Clark, banging with the big fella.
7 turnovers for the Florida Flight in the first quarter with 45 seconds left to go.
That turnover was caused because Clark did not give up any position. When he tried to turn around, there was a double team right there. And when he tried to turn back around to figure out what he was going to do, he shuffled his feet. Easy call. Great job by the Croc organization, helping each other out and playing stout defense.
Reynolds underneath, the ball stolen away by Gullett, and Gullett turns it back over. And the Crocs will give it right back.
I thought that was going to go in like the J.R. Smith shot.
I thought if that went in, you would have left.
I would have had to leave. Take the camera, took one half of the Jerry Bear crew. I probably would have taken
Jerry, yeah.
Fireman carry out the door.
20 seconds to go in the first. Catch and shoot. Glegg from the right corner, off the mark. The Flight having a poor for performance shooting to start off this game. And a turnover there by the Clermont Crocs.
And that sets the Flight up very well. They can run an out-of-bounds play because they're right under the goal, and they have all seconds to run something, so this might be what they needed to ignite that offense.
Flight 4 of 16 from the floor. Need a 4 of 17 after that missed shot. So the Flight shooting under 25% from the field in the first quarter. We have not seen them play in a long time. 24-12, the score. We'll see what the Flight have when we return for the second quarter of action here in the FBA Finals, presented by Poly Wealth Management.
Hey, what is up, everyone? My name is Susie, and I'm a full-time partner streamer on Twitch.tv. I've made it my mission to help gamers win in every area of life. So whether it's helping you win in gaming by teaching the latest tips and tricks on whatever games you might be playing, helping you win in fitness through my daily fitness streams, or even just helping you win in your week, we're building genuine community, and we've got a place just for you. So I want to encourage you right now to follow me over at twitch.tv/SusieLive. I stream Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and we hope to see some of you soon.
Cornelius Reynolds in the first quarter, 0 for 9 from the field, but 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and that's how you get a plus 12 in the book, Alvin. But the Florida Flight needs something to go here, because if Cornelius Reynolds gets hot, there might not be any stopping the Crocs.
Mr. 40-point man himself, averaging a double-double this season. Cornelius Reynolds is a problem. However, the Florida Flight, they just got to find a way to move the basketball around, get guys in their spots. Elliot Glegg is a lethal shooter, but when guys are trying to solo play, it makes it tough. So you got to find a way to move the ball around and get good looks at the basket.
So we'll go back down to the court for the second quarter of action. 24-12 is the score. as the clock will now start ticking down all the flight in negative, plus, and their plus minuses. Clark airballs that one. And Billy Aristide the rebound. Ball down low. Terry Cleveland recovers and puts it through, and it might be Cleveland's turn to make something happen for this Florida Flight team. He's got 4 points.
That's just a phenomenal job, and that's effort right there, being in the right place at the right time, able to flip that one up and in.
Blocking foul on the defense. Coach King, not happy.
Irate.
So, yeah, wow.
We got the other half of the Lunatics checking in. David Luna with the fire Kobe's of his own, adding to the shoe game of the Crocs. But just a gray area, if you will, the charging and blocking calls, because it's just a hair, whether you get there, whether you don't. And that's the difference between being called a blocking foul and a charging call. So love the way the refs have officiated this game. Let these guys play. They earned it. This is the championship game. It's going to get physical. It's going to get dicey. Just make sure these guys are staying in line.
Clark with 2 more. He's got 7. Here's Moss up top. Left side, the bounce pass down to the block. Aristide down the lane, up with the right hand. It bounces in.
That's a great job. But once again, the difference in this game from that lull, if you remember in that first quarter, was putting Steve Toloy, putting beef on beef, having someone with physicality to match up with Grant Gullett. And once you don't have that, Grant Gullett's able to just light you up and right there able to facilitate.
That's Cornelius Reynolds' first basket of the game. 28-16 the score. He's coming off a 40-point game with 13 rebounds. So well above his season average in both slots. And Glegg off the mark, just short. He's having a rough time shooting the ball this game.
Just trying to find a way to get involved. That was a great move to shift the guy, run out the pick and roll, and he got a good look, just wasn't able to finish. You want to see him continue to shoot the ball. Don't lose confidence. It's only the first half.
Glegg, their best pure shooter from the floor, 24 points, 4 of 9 from 3 in their last ball game.
Oh,
and
my
5
goodness.
assists as well. They caught Cleveland on the ground.
Jesse, he made him touch earth. He made him touch the earth.
Moss through the traffic up with the left hand. It's good, and now the lead cut back to 10 for the Clermont Crocs.
Basketball rules, Jesse. You got to get Terry Cleveland the ISO on the other end.
You absolutely should. Moss up the floor. Now to the right. And almost stolen away by Mo Williams there. Now Moss baseline left side. Cleveland gets the ball, towing the line. And he's off. So once the basketball rules apply and you give him the ball, are all bets off now?
Yes, kind of. Because you want him to make that shot, because it's basically a pride thing.
Toloy fouled from the back.
Let me just explain these basketball rules real quick for all you guys that don't know. So on a play like that where Terry Cleveland, he's a great defender, and let's be real, great defenders, you're going to get a highlight made on you. It happened to Klay Thompson against Kyrie. I know, Jesse, I know. But
we really got to bring this up every single time where there's a stoppage in the action.
It happens.
Why is it 3-1 blown day?
But hey, I just gotta bring it up.
What side of the bed did you wake up on this morning, sir?
I woke up on the aggressive side. I'm feeling good. The lighting's great. Cameras on us, and this life is just great. I can't complain. I got Skittles because Braden's a great guy. Jerry's my right with the beard bomb. I smell mocha. Everything's good. But basically, basketball rules, you get broken off, right? He touched the earth, and you got to make a play to make up for it. You got to get your confidence back. Let him know I'm here to play, because Terry Cleveland, great athlete. He had a few buckets, a few offensive boards, plays great defense. Now let him earn it on the other end.
Moss back up top. Gullet a pump fake, now gets inside to the right. Good thing Aristides got a long reach there. And taken away by Cody Hoff. Long in on Gullet and Glegg, and he makes the shot. Kenny Long with his 3rd and 4th point of the ball game on that shot.
First, I got to start by thanks to coming to my tech talk. That was a long little speech right there, but
ball stolen away from Moss. Now another one for Kenny Long in open floor. He's got 6 points, and the Crocs are up big, 34-18 the score.
Jesse, Cody Hoff with a takeaway turns into points. Right there, Kenny Long with the pickpocket turning into points. This game is getting ugly, but we got to stay calm. It's only the second quarter. We understand both of these guys are second-half teams. That's something I'm going to have to keep reiterating.
Moss all the way down into the lane. He said, forget your second half, Alvin. I'll give you a second quarter.
Love when he does that, and that's the problem with this flight team. When Brandon Moss gets angry, when Grant Gullet gets angry, things can get out of hand. And right there, Brandon Moss doing what he does. Mr. Viral himself with the 2-hand throwdown.
Clark off on that one. Here comes Glegg.
Great handle.
Glegg to the left. Corner 3. Aristide hits it.
Ooh-wee. When it rains, it pours. Nice 5-point swing for the flight.
The flight now 1 for 10 from beyond the arc, and their 3-point shooting has gone downhill. That's probably about the only thing that's gone downhill for them throughout the season. They started the season at 34% and now are at 28%. Push on the floor. Yeah, how crazy is that, Alvin? You know, you go from 34% to dipping under, now you're at 28%.
It's
one for 10 this game, so you're looking at 27% in reality. That's nuts.
It's shot selection. That's what it boils down to. Shot selection, and really sometimes shots just don't fall. There's some days the shots aren't going to go, but the only thing you can control is your shot selection.
The step back by Long, just off to the left. And they put Adam Waldo down there to just kind of hang out with Toyloy. Moss loses that one, and they throw it ahead to Toyloy. Toyloy with a jam by himself, and Toyloy's got some words for Adam Waldo. They're going to have to be split up.
That's a good job finishing through the push of Adam. But for Steve, you got to be calm here, because I understand you're angry because you just got pushed on the bottom, and that could be a very dangerous play. But they called it, Jesse. That's all you want. All you want is the call to be called. So you get the shot, you get the dunk, you have an ammo opportunity. Talk your talk for a quick little second as you go back to the free throw line. Knock your free throws down. That's all you got to do. The foul was called, Jesse. That's all you want, the foul to be called. Granted, Waldo, that's not a safe play, but it happens.
36-23 is the score, and you know it's a dangerous play, Alvin. And right now, Moss and Steve Toller are having to talk about it, because you know maybe something could be said about Moss on the other side of the floor, kind of running through traffic and maybe getting his feet swept out of him. But
100.
I do like the way the officials are calling this game, though. They're letting everything ride. Obviously, that's a blatant foul.
Yeah.
And Mike Rivera comes over and tells us it's a common foul. We knew that was going to happen. 36-23 the score. Steve Toller at the line.
And that's exactly how the ref should officiate this game. That's a common foul. You call it. You make sure guys understand that that is not acceptable. And Steve Toller able to capitalize on that play. And for Steve and the athletes on the court, as long as the calls are being called, just play your game. Granted, it wasn't egregious. He didn't really fully take his legs out. He's trying not to get kicked, because when you jump, you kick your legs out. There's a slew of reasons why you would put your hand on someone's lower region when they're jumping, but it was called. Let it ride.
Ball tapped away, shot no good. So the Florida Flight's shooting troubles continue. Cody Hoff left wing, just off the front. Elliot Glegg the rebound.
He's a pure shooter. Every time the flick of the wrist is so smooth, I think it's going to go in.
And some things are just a little bit too out of reach for Brandon Moss's wingspan, and that was one of them.
I never thought I'd ever see that, because there's multiple times where I've been like, there's no way he gets that. And sure enough, you see that 6'9" hand, grab up there and throw it down right there. I thought it was just going to be another Brandon Moss tomahawk.
And there's a tomahawk from Steve Toiloy. And Toiloy letting us know he does this. 39-23 is the score.
Jesse,
Wow.
Jerry Pettit, wow. I think I got a new screensaver. That's a screensaver. And one? Oh, man.
Toiloy misses that one, and Toiloy shooting 43% this season, 20.6 points per game, and 17.3 rebounds per game. Aristide to the left, the pump fake, Blake for three, off the backside of the rim. Poor shooting for the flight. Long inside, beautiful. With those shots going right towards the basket.
Nice runner by Long. He was really just probing right there. He probably didn't even intend on shooting the basketball, but no one stopped the ball, and then he was able to get that jump shot to fall.
The flight shooting 35% from the floor, 9% from beyond the arc. Moss fouled.
And that's just good pressure by Cody Hoth. You got to get up on him like that. You can't allow him to do what he wants on the court. Brandon Moss getting the call he wanted. A little bit of a switch up on the court. Caleb Winfrey checking in, trying to add what he can add.
Grant Gullett, co-MVP last year with Moss, a deep three. Cody Hoth, the bounce pass, right side, Reynolds. And Long, the little guy down low, and they throw it into Toiloy, who jams it home again. Toiloy on a roll.
Steve Toiloy understood the assignment. You cannot lay anything up around Brandon Moss and Grant Gullett, and he's been throwing everything down. And it's safe to say he's winning the dunk competition with Nick Turner right now. 3 dunks for Steve Toiloy in emphatic fashion.
Moss hits his first 3 of the game.
That's a problem. When his range balls start going, he starts to get hot, and when he heats up, it's a problem.
Other side, that one just misses.
Cody Hoth trying to come back with a quick answer of his own, unable to see the bottom.
Blake double teamed into Moss, and he has that one taken away. Clark. Caleb Winfrey smacks that one out of bounds.
Love that effort by Caleb Winfrey. That's what he brings to the table. Kyle Clark trying to look over to the right and to the left to check to see if he has enough time to get it up. No, you don't. If you're looking back, you're probably not safe. Caleb Winfrey chasing that down. His chase down badge is on Hall of Fame.
Another 3 made by Cornelius Reynolds. But how about this? Caleb Winfrey with 3 blocks already in the game.
His effort, that's all effort right there. Look at how long his arms are.
They almost touch the floor when he's standing up.
It's not someone you want guarding you. Looks like he could be a receiver. Oh my goodness.
Gullett on Reynolds. And now going up. And some contact on the ball as it goes out of bounds. I honestly love how our officiating crew today from Right Call Officials is letting them kind of play this one out. And
yes,
speaking
sir.
of officials, we're joined by Mike Rivera, who is the crew chief in number 34, Rafael Benitez in number 5, and Alex Vasquez in number 7. They're doing a great job today.
Jerry Bear also in number 7 to our right, wearing the Kobe's Mamba edition. Mocha blend beard.
So Adam Waldo comes out. So it looks like Coach King is going to match the Waldo and Steve Toiloy minutes, just the big bodies banging together. An old-fashioned bigs battle. A shot clock violation.
Now that is difficult because we can't actually see the shot clock from here. So on the court, you definitely have to look back to half court to see how much time's on the clock. So I'm surprised we didn't see more shot clock violations in the last game yesterday, but that's the first of the game.
Inside, Clark making the floater.
Oh my. The dribble to split the defenders with the sweet chocolate float way up high. Kyle Clark getting buckets and getting them in bunches.
So the point guard now for the Florida Flight has the ball on the left side. Elliot Glegg's been good all season, but he turns it over.
Cal Long with the long outstretched arm.
Hoth throws it left. Moss the rebound.
Watch out.
Glegg trying to find his stroke. Moss the rebound, spinning, realizing Steve Toiloy is not down low. And he's fouled on the floor.
They're doing a great job keeping Brandon Moss on the ground. They're kind of giving him Jordan rules without like the egregious fouls, because Jordan rules, obviously, this dude was just getting laid out. Greg Kite will tell you that, but our great commissioner. But with Brandon, you can't allow him to jump, and they've done just that.
Somebody should turn their phone off. Make that me. Shot missed there on the other side. Glegg to the right. Gullett beyond the arc now inside. And a 3 in the key on the defense, so here comes a technical shot. And this will be good for Elliot Glegg, because a lot of time you just need to see one go in.
Yes,
find your stroke.
He's needed to get something.
Flight will take a timeout with 3:02 left to go in the second quarter. 48-26. The Flight trailing by 22. When was the last time we saw this? We could not tell you. So hopefully they pick it up after this timeout break.
At Envy Labs, we build web applications that start with an idea. They move through strategy and need an outside eye ahead of wireframes and technical specifications. There's design and layout and functionality, but there's also performance, things like accessibility and data visualization. It all comes together for what ultimately is a successful launch. Over the past decade, Envy Labs has built platforms that pair things like data and sports or environmental science. We've built technical training platforms around data science and around network administration, and we've bootstrapped and sold our own product. We are a temporary CTO and an outside specialist in strategy, design, and development. It takes a lot to go from idea to launched web application, but it's all right there in our name. Reach out to hello@envylabs.com and let's take a look at your idea together.
Steve Toiloy to start off this game perfect from the field with 15 points. 48-26 is the score. The Flight trailing by 22. Alvin, what are their woes right now?
Right now, the Flight has just struggled to penetrate this Croc defense, and the Crocs have just been rolling, getting turnovers, turning defense into offense, and they've just been rolling off pure passion fueled from their last game. But to answer your question, they got to find a way to move the ball around and utilize open shots and get more assists, because right now it's easy to decipher what's going to happen, and the Crocs have been doing it.
Mukiembo in the game. Inside Moss. And a jump ball against Nicholas Turner.
Wow.
Unbelievable. The Crocs are playing out of their mind to keep Moss at bay.
You know, I genuinely love the matchup between Nick Turner and Brandon Moss. They didn't guard each other early on, but right there, got two hands on the basketball, Jesse. He read that play completely. Phenomenal job by Turner.
The Flight 2 of 15 from beyond the arc, and 15 turnovers already in the second quarter, Alvin. Terry Cleveland touched it last.
That's just terrorizing defense, doubling Terry Cleveland on that. It's just crazy how hard the Crocs are playing, and they're doing a great job. That's why they're in this game, leading this game.
Right side Reynolds, out to Daniel Luna. Now they give it back to the point guard, Montel Williams. The give off, and the jam inside by Nicholas Turner.
It's an all-out dunk fest for the Crocs. Nick Turner trying to get in on that Steve Toiloy dunk contest right now. He's down 3-1.
A screen by Mukiambo. Glegg for three. Off to the right. So Elliot Glegg, this game 0 for 5 from beyond the arc. Williams got Gullett to bite down low. Hoth, one dribble through the traffic. Puts it up and is fouled. Somehow made the shot. And more points on the board for the Clermont Crocs.
Well, Jesse, let me just tell you, this Croc team came out, and they came out to play. Right now, we're seeing great ball movement on this side. Guys are cutting. Guys are moving around. Everyone's involved playing hard defense because they know on the offensive end, they're going to get the rock right there. Cody Hoth being a beneficiary of what was that, 4 passes? And then he got seen on a cut. Mo Williams passing up a good three-point attempt to come in and catch him on a cut. Phenomenal job by this Croc organization, and it ends up in an and one.
So Cody Hoth now at the line. 52-27 the score. And Hoth makes that one. So Cody Hoth shooting 76% from the free throw stripe. Moved here from Madison, Wisconsin. And now in his first FBA season, he's showing out in the championship.
Home of the cheese, right?
Home of the cheesies.
I remember I had Culver's in Madison, Wisconsin. I think that was the first time I had it, and let me tell you, they know how to make some cheese over there, Jesse.
Interestingly enough.
What's interesting, Jesse? I'm waiting for.
Oh, I was going to say I had Culver's for the first time last night, and there's the first three made by Elliot Glegg.
And now that's a problem. Now that he's activated from beyond the arc.
And a Cody Hoth one right back.
Wow, Jesse. Cody Hoth has came to play. He came to play last game. 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, and he is coming to play today.
The Flight trailing by 26, and the lob to Brandon Moss inside.
Now the Flight starting to pick it up. They're starting to get settled in this game.
Mo Williams, good for 3 again.
What do we have here? Mo Williams comes to the three-point party. What a game.
Seems like any basket that the Flight make, the Crocs make one right back. Glegg off the front side. Terry Cleveland fighting for the rebound. Glegg ripping that one away. And he's fouled with 41.9 seconds left to go in the second.
But you know what I love about that? As soon as they get that double, guys are ready to leak out. Cornelius Reynolds was ready to run out just in case they're able to get that, and a quick transition. So these guys are ready to go. They're ready to rock, and they're having a fun time. We could see it on their faces.
(59-32). 41.9 seconds left to go. Alvin, the Florida Flight need help shooting, but maybe it's Grant Gullett to get them out of it, or Elliot Glegg, who's about to go to the free throw stripe.
Definitely. Elliot Glegg's a sharpshooter for this team, and his shots have not been falling, but you got to credit Crocs. They've been doing a good job pressuring the ball handlers and making sure every shot is difficult. But, you know, it's going to be a second-half team. It's going to be a second-half game. So coming into the half, I'm looking to see some adjustments. I'm excited to see what the Flight's going to do.
And I think I stand corrected. It is not going to be free throw shots. It looks like Elliot will take this one from the sideline. So Brandon Moss already with 15 points in the ball game. Billy Arstide with 5, and he's their second leading scorer, Alvin. Flight have not been doing a good job of making baskets, not alone, but maybe sharing the ball a little bit more. They have 21 assists per game, and that's good for second highest in the FBA.
And that's been the problem. They haven't been able to move the ball as efficiently as they would like because the pressure's just there, and that's why I really have to credit this Croc team. It's not the flight that's coming a little lackluster. It's just the Crocs coming in with that pressure, not allowing them to move the basketball the way they're accustomed to doing so, and every time they get a shot, they're closing out hard, so it's a difficult one. So great job by the Crocs, and I imagine Coach King's going to have some adjustments in the second half.
Back down to the floor now for action. 38 seconds left to go. Brandon Moss, it slipped off his finger to the right side of the basket. Wow.
Turnovers are going to be huge because the Crocs have been capitalizing on it. That's basketball for you. If you can capitalize on every turnover, you're putting yourself in a good position to win the basketball game.
59-32. Reynolds, right side. And the putback by Jordan Danawa, who sees his first few minutes and gets on the board for his first time.
That's how you do it. You come in, immediately make an impact, and he made an impact on the boards. Fantastic job by Jordan, staying aggressive.
4 seconds left to go. Gullett fouled. He was on the floor, so he will shoot 2. So Grant Gullett started off this game at the line, and he put the flight up by 1. And then the Clermont Crocs have held the lead ever since.
And it's been a key adjustment by the Crocs to put beef on Grant Gullett, forcing him to take jump shots. And now he can shoot the ball very well. However, that's not what he's trying to do. He wants to get down there and bang around a little bit on the block. But when they put that down there, Grant Gullett's going to facilitate. He's going to move the ball around. And the issue is that energy hasn't been reciprocated. So the whole organization has not moved the ball very well.
And as time expires here in the second quarter, it's a 61-34 game. And we'll bring it back into us. Alvin, what'd you like, what'd you not like? I will say that the Florida Flight had 17 turnovers in the first half of this ball game. They're averaging just under 18 a whole game, and they have that in a half. How do you fix that?
Well, it starts with figuring out a way to control what you can control. This Croc organization is coming out, and they're coming out with a fire under their seat naturally because it's championship game. So I love the energy of this Croc organization, how they came out and they pressed the guys defensively. But by this Flight team, you're going to have to find a way to move the ball and get good looks at the basket.
Steve Toyle with 15. He leads the Clermont Crocs. They're reeling in this game to try to win Game 1 of the FBA Finals. So who will come out victorious here in this first game? We'll find out after the half. This is the FBA on YouTube and Facebook Live, presented by Poly Wealth Management.
Poly Wealth Management is an innovative provider of wealth management and financial planning services. For over 2 decades, our advisors have been providing clients with sound, professional, and unbiased financial advice, investment management, and wealth planning. Our philosophy has remained unchanged through the years, and that is to make what can be a complex process straightforward and easy to understand. We specialize in the creation and protection of wealth through comprehensive financial, insurance, and retirement planning.
61-34 is the score right now here in this game. The Florida Flight are looking for some help here on offense. Alvin, you talked to both coaches. What were their opinions on how the first half went, and what are they going to improve on in the second half?
Let's start with the one ranked team in the league, the Florida Flight. They just got to find a way to settle in this game. They're having roster issues. As you can obviously see, Romello Bates is in here and a couple other key guys for them. So coming in, that's been a little bit of a hitch for them. However, they're going to come in with their starting five, and they believe that these guys are the same guys that, or no, they are the same guys that won in 2019. They won that championship. They're composed, and they're going to be able to move the basketball around and get guys in their spots. A key guy that Coach King is looking forward to is Elliott. He is phenomenal, as we all know, coming off of the dribble and getting in the open space and knocking down shots. However, the key point that they're making is going to be off of the pass. They're trying to go and get guys to move the basketball around, come off of screens, and kind of what you're accustomed to seeing with Steph Curry, come off of screens and get shots in that way. And on the other end, for the Crocs, Coach Maxie Luna loves the intensity that they've brought. He's told these guys, this is what we play for. They're the reigning champs. They've got their number before. This is a rivalry for their side, and that's the intensity that we've seen. And for them, they're just going to keep pouring it on. They're going to try to find a way to make it so that way they do not want to play this game of basketball again. So love the way that these guys are playing and love the intensity that we have. This is a true championship game.
The Crocs went on an absolute run there in the first half of the ball game, and yet the Florida Flight did kind of help them out. 17 turnovers in the first half. That's how many they averaged in a game this season. So they had 17 turnovers in the first 2 quarters of this ball game. So kind of trying to clean up that sloppy basketball, although I will say Kenny Long has been the guy for the Clermont Crocs, in my opinion, in that first half. Had 3 steals. The team in total, the Clermont Crocs, had 14 assists in the first half of that ball game. So they're doing a great job of sharing the ball. They're making the Flight turn over the ball, and that's kind of been the Crocs' secret. Now, we got to wait and see what they're going to do here in the second half, but I have a feeling the Crocs know how to keep intensity on. They've only lost a couple games this season, and every single game they lost, it was close, but they never had a lead like this and blew it. So something to kind of look forward to here, Alvin, wouldn't you say?
Definitely, but that's the issue, because coming off of a lead and you have a lead like this, it's usually hard. However, the mentality that these guys are coming to play with on the Croc side, they're in it to win it. But you can't forget what Brandon Moss can do in transition. When he gets mad, going over there and understanding the culture that this Flight organization has, being in that huddle, understanding the type of guys that these are, the look in Grant Gullett's eyes, the look in Brandon Moss's eyes, it's scary. So I'm tuned in. I'm ready to go. This is going to be a great second half, because the Flight organization, they are not going to take this one lightly.
And now we have entered your termed money quarter. So we're going to go back down to the floor for Alvin's money quarter.
Let's do it.
It's the third quarter of action here in the FBA Finals. This is game 1. A 61-34 game. So the Crocs with the first possession. Reynolds left side. Guarded by Glegg. And there's a steal by Billy Aristide. Ball tipped around, and it goes out off the Crocs.
Billy Aristide not completely pulling the chair, but something reminiscent of that. It will maneuver around and get that steal. Phenomenal job to come out of the half and force a turnover.
Glegg inside, to the right, back out, Winfrey. And now Glegg, here's the guy they're hoping that gets hot here in the second half of the ball game. Into Gullett, out to Aristide, lining it up for 3. Wide open, he hits it.
But Jesse, that's exactly what the Flight need to do. Move the basketball around. Multiple passes, cannot allow the ball to get stuck. These guys are not worried. They have championship DNA in each one of their players.
Cody Hoth inside, missed that one. Gets his own rebound through the traffic. Ball tapped away. And Caleb Winfrey recovers. Stolen back by Clark. Good ball movement by the Crocs. Inside, there's Cornelius Reynolds all the way to the basket. He got 7.
And that's one thing that the Crocs have done very well. That's really been the difference, in my opinion. On offense, the Crocs, everyone touches the basketball. Everyone's able to come in on defense because they feel like they're involved in the game. And that's something that the Flight trying to work on right now.
Another catch and shoot by Seth Hilton. And the rebound by Reynolds. Reynolds has been great here in the second half of ball games. 65-37 the score.
And that's a great job once again, attacking in transition.
And another offensive foul by Billy Aristide in the flight.
But that's just a good job by Cornelius Reynolds, understanding that he's coming downhill, he's screaming downhill, so to speak. Just get there, scream, take it. It's a very tough ask, but when guys do it, you see the effect it has. It makes you take a hesitation when you're attacking. That gives defense enough time to transition and have a defensive possession.
65-37, 10-13 to go in the third. A catch and shoot using the backboard. Steve Toiloy an assist there.
And that's quick bunnies by Kenny Long. Arguably the shortest on the court, able to get that one to go up and in amongst the trees.
The step back from Gullett. Winfrey setting his feet. And Toiloy couldn't hang on to the rebound. Kenny Long with 10. So the Clermont Crocs up by 30 on the flight right now. And the flight shooting 35% from the field.
And that's the kicker. Flight typically accustomed to making a lot more shots than they miss.
Gullett almost lost his footing there. Steps back on Toiloy for three. Aristide the rebound. He's got Glegg wide open up top, but how about Grant Gullett cutting towards the basket for a slam?
That's how you do it. A sure bucket in the league in basketball is to just dunk it home. Great job by Gullett in that connection by Glegg. Oh my.
Hoff takes the rebound and all the way to the basket.
Oh my, the European two-step Cody Hoff is having himself a game.
You almost lost your foot at your rear in the chair there, Alvin, I will say.
Did you see that? The effort by Caleb Winfrey, it was so dramatic. And he picks up his dribble, 1-2 so quick with the finish. Man, I'm loving this energy.
Another missed three by the flight. Clark the block by Gullett. And then Reynolds will put it through. He now has 11 points.
Cal Clark got to dunk that. Great job by Grant Gullett smacking that off the backboard, but Cornelius Reynolds with the effort play, the bunnies.
The flight 4 of 22 from beyond the arc. Not good.
4 of 22, that is tough.
Glegg gonna hit him at the mid-range.
And that's one thing that they're trying to work on. Coach King recognized that his shots off the dribble aren't falling. Trying to get him some more pass, catch and shoot action, some driving kicks, but they have not been able to execute as well as he would have wanted because this Croc defense is humming. Like Sailor Jerry.
19 steals for the Crocs in the ball game.
Wow. Wow, that's a lot of steals.
I can't even believe that.
To start the money quarter.
Oh, 9 team steals. Sorry, I was off the mark on that one. Woo! I was off the mark.
I was like, wow.
Also, how about this? Brandon Moss, 8 turnovers.
Wow. That's a key thing to focus in on because he's one of their primary ball handlers, the way he does so well in transition.
And that one turned over by Clark. Here's Grant Gullett. So Gullett with the steal. And that one goes out of bounds off of Steve Toiloy last.
And that's one thing that Coach Maxie Luna loved about this team. He's seen a lot of guys come in there and play some stout defense. Cal Clark being one of them. Right there you see him chasing Grant down and trying to do all he can do to harass the ball carrier.
Moss fouled. Elliot Glegg 1 for 11 from the floor in this ball game, Alvin.
And it's just because majority of those shots are coming from positions that's not comfortable. Granted, he's an elite shooter. He could shoot off the dribble. He could shoot in open space. He could shoot contested. However, the way that these shots are coming, he's having to work really hard before he's able to let the shot go. So that takes a toll on your jump shot because now you're tired. You dribbled a lot. You had to run around a whole bunch, and now you're finally trying to set yourself up and shoot it. The mechanics aren't all there. The legs aren't going to be there. You're going to leave it short. And it's just a little miscues, and that's all credit to the Crocs.
Moss with 17. Long, not usually known for his three-point shot. And now here's Glegg, other side to Moss. And it was a mix-up down low between Moss and Gullett.
They both tried to dunk it.
The turnover by Aristide.
That's a great look, but Cornelius Reynolds right there, an even better interception.
Steve Toyloy putting it through.
Beating his chest like a drum. Steve Toyloy clearly winning this dunk battle with Nick Turner.
Glegg trying to get through the traffic.
That's great.
Moss, left wing. And now gets a screen from Aristide, passes that direction. Aristide lining it up. And he couldn't hit.
That's what you want, though. Drive and kick. Wide open jump shot. Wasn't able to fall that time, but it's not going to be that way.
There was a drive and kick, and no good. Moss has that one stolen away by Toyloy. Toyloy jams it down. Wow. What is going on?
Wow. Wow. What a play by Toyloy on his comrade, Brandon Moss.
And Moss can't hit that one.
Weren't they former teammates, if I'm not mistaken?
In Chile.
Love that dynamic between those two.
Universidad de Concepcion. Moss other direction. And the ball taken away from Moss again. Back to Reynolds. Reynolds through the traffic, lost that one, and it goes out of bounds. Under 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. 75-41. The Flight are trailing by 34.
Trailing big, and it's just the energy of this Croc team. Wow. Enough can't be said about how well Clermont has come out and played this game. They've just been doing everything right. It seems like all of their shots are falling. It seems like they can do no wrong on the defensive end. Hustle points, bunnies, everything's going on the other end. It's just been dry as the Sahara Desert for the Flight. They're not able to get their shots to go. Turnover city, and they're just not able to get that spark, get that push, get that catalyst to ignite their offense.
One thing I will say is that your metaphors have been on point this whole season, Alvin. So the Sahara Desert one, I like that one. And I think Jerry loved it too. One day you guys will get to see Jerry. He's our fantastic producer, engineer, director, and all above hype man. He has done a fantastic job for us all season. So thank you, Jerry. He's sitting right next to us, but you're not allowed to see him yet. Maybe we'll show you him after one of these teams wins the FBA championship. Can you get a knuckle? Maybe you can get a knuckle
from Jerry.
Jerry, can you get a knuckle
it's
to Alvin?
It's up to him. It's up to the grade.
No, we're going to go back down to the floor, actually.
Hey, he just left you hanging in front of all the fans. Wow.
The thousands of fans out there for the Florida Basketball Association got left on red.
Oh, man, I haven't felt this way since middle school.
Grant Gullett puts that one through. That's tough.
My heart hurts.
Oh, man. Montel Williams catch and shoot off to the left side. Reynolds saves that one. Clark again up top. And Moss the rebound.
Trying to find a way to ignite this offense is probably going to take a few highlight dunks or a spectacular play from this Flight super-powered team to get them going. And this is something so uncharacteristic. We're not accustomed to seeing guys so quiet on this Flight side.
Moss shooting 50% from the floor. And Gullett 2 for 8 from the floor. And Moss hitting the three there. That could be big.
Now you just got to string possessions like that together.
So the lead cut to within 30.
That's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a flight down this big.
Moss all the way down.
Yep, it started. Brandon Moss has checked into the game. He's ready to go.
Up by 34 at one point. 75-48 now the score. The turnaround jumper by Clark is good.
Kyle Clark is just so efficient from the field. I love how he wears these Kobe's, because when you hit jump shots like that, your mid-range is so smooth, so clean, so crispy. You deserve to wear them. Great shot by Clark.
Moss, another one.
Well, hey, he's got on Jordans, and you know what Jordan did in the finals? He's undefeated. So Brandon got some big shoes to fill. Great job knocking it down. It's winning time for Brandon Moss.
Moss is 25, and another rebound. 77-51.
Wow, love this. Kobe versus Jordan with the shoe game.
Glegg with a screen from Moss. Now Glegg right side, saw the open man, Winfrey, and Terry Cleveland the rebound. Cleveland back to Winfrey, and Coach King needs a timeout. 77-51, the Flight trailing by 26 as we go into the timeout break. And what a time it has been for the Clermont Crocs. The Florida Flight have not been down by 34 all season long. So can the Crocs keep it up, or will the Flight just put their effort in their main man, Brandon Moss? We'll find out in just a sec.
OMW, on my way to you. Good at what I do. I'm OMW. OMW, on my way to you. Good at what I do. I'm OMW. On my way, on my way. OMW, on my way to you. Good at what I do. I'm OMW.
Still a lot of making up to do here for the Florida Flight as Coach King used the timeout there to see if he could talk to his guys and get them back in this one.
That's a wise timeout as well, because Terry Cleveland was about to get a 3-second in the key just because he was trying to find a way to safely get rid of the basketball.
Gullett couldn't make that one. Toilet the rebound. Gullett, I think this is his worst shooting performance of the season. Off the Flight last.
I think this is the Flight's worst first half of the season, and that's coming from Coach King himself. He believed this was their worst half and the Crocs' best half. However, the third quarter, the money quarter, hasn't proved to be too much different.
Toiloy inside, down low, Reynolds the reverse.
Slashing, dashing, and attacking. Love the offense this Croc organization has displayed thus far. They are clearly winning the money quarter, and that's been the discrepancy in the scoreboard.
Flight trail by 28. Gullett left side. Now underneath. The reverse. Terry Cleveland for the rebound, but he throws it right up to Clark. And David Luna couldn't hang on to that one.
That's a great pass by Kyle Clark. Phenomenal job getting that in. David knows he got to take care of that one, but he'll get him next time. Love the energy these guys play with, and love the vision and the camaraderie the Crocs have displayed.
Glegg fouled.
You know what I love about the Luna Twins? They take
get mad
it
at
personal.
oh yeah.
They take it personal. Like this is a game, obviously.
Call.
Every foul, and right there, David wasn't able to get that ball in, and you see him, he's thinking about it, and not necessarily in a bad way. Like, he's thinking about it like, I'm going to make up for it, and I'm going to play my heart out on defense, and I'm going to make up for it. I love that about those two, just the mentality they have and the grit they play with.
Moss stepping back, hits another one.
Oh, my goodness.
This has been a Brandon Moss shooting show.
Oh, my goodness gracious. He is checked into the building, and Elliot Glegg gets a steal on the other end. I'm loving it.
So a warning on the flight bench. Moss, 4 of 9 from beyond the arc now.
And right there, that last whistle was a warning on the flight bench. Guys are getting riled up, ready to go. I'm loving this.
I wonder if there was a way that the broadcast crew could get a warning. I've never seen it before.
I hope
But
not.
I think it could be possible. We'll make Jerry do it. Call it to Moss! That's what we've been waiting for.
Oh, my goodness. Love when these two start throwing it down, looking for each other. They're having fun, and they're starting to creep and crawl their way back into this game.
Reynolds for 3, fouled beyond the arc by Caleb Winfrey.
You win some, you lose some. Caleb Winfrey running out. Last time he got a block, actually, the previous 2 times he's closed out that hard, he's gotten a block. Right there, he fouled the three-point shooter. And typically you say, don't close out that hard on shooters, but Caleb Winfrey's an exception. I've seen him do it more times than not.
Reynolds to the line, shooting 67% this season.
That's
Flight now back with to 21-point deficit.
That's one thing about the Flight. It's kind of like the Warriors. I'll give you some positive kudos here. You know, the Warriors, we understand. If you're up big, they can make a lot of threes. They can make them quick and this, that, and the third. Let's not talk about that too much. But with the Flight, they're kind of like that. You cannot get comfortable in this lead. And I'm not saying that's what the Crocs are doing. It's just that the Flight, they're starting to wake up. They're starting to make their plays. They're starting to do things that we're accustomed to seeing them do. Brandon Moss trying to get some trickery. Probably put some stickums on Cornelius' hand on that last free throw. Oh, it worked.
Might have worked.
It worked.
81-58. Moss now left side, up with the left hand, it's good. 21-point lead for the Crocs. Moss with 32.
That was great defense.
Going off the front side. And here comes the Flight. The second leading scorer on the Flight is Grant Gullett with 10. Moss has 32.
Wow.
He has half of their points. That ball is stolen away. Mo Williams back to Reynolds. Luna from the right elbow. Good! David Luna's first basket of the game.
That's a nice knockdown jump shot, and Daniel loves it. Love how the twin telepathy's going, and David knocking down that elbow jump shot in traffic.
34 seconds to go in the third quarter, Alvin's money quarter. So now Moss with a screen from Gullett. Moss pulling back up top. That one just off the mark. Mo Williams the rebound, 20 seconds to go. A 23-point lead for the Crocs. Mo Williams trying to sell it to the official as he was coming up the floor. Now down low, right off of Steve Toyloy and out of bounds.
You know, I was so emotionally involved in that possession. Great job by Mo Williams getting that ball down there. Steve got to catch that and finish, but I'm really got to give the officials kudos.
Gullett with 3 seconds left to go. Off the front, Moss got it off in time. The putback is good. And now a 21-point lead with 0.5 seconds left to go. Steve Toyloy dribbles the third quarter out. 83-62. Are you kidding me? After the third quarter, not the game we expected here in game one of the FBA Finals. The Crocs are up big, but can they keep this? Moss is starting to get himself going, so we'll see what he has to offer when we return in 55 seconds. So stick with us. they've We're out for the final quarter of action. Kenny Long with 3 steals, Kyle Clark with 3 steals, Steve Toiler with 2, and Cornelius Reynolds with 2. And they've led the way here for this Clermont Crocs team, who are up big on the Florida Flight. Alvin, what do the Flight have to do to win this ball game?
They have to continue with the momentum they had ending that money quarter. Brandon Moss started turning it up, and from there, he's going to be able to facilitate and keep his guys engaged. That's going to be the biggest tail of the tape. How are the other guys going to help him?
Back down on the floor now for the action. Moss to inbound.
Love the energy from the Jer Bear crew.
And a foul inside. That's a quick one to start off the fourth quarter.
Trying to do all you can when you can. I really want that beard balm that Jerry has. I feel like I could do a commercial for it.
On the floor, Arstad has to burn a 30-second timeout. 83-62. 11 minutes and 40 seconds. And Alvin, if you'll happily get off your Apple Watch, we'll bring it back into us. How is the Apple Watch? I have this one on.
Flexing our watch game?
Yeah, no. What do you got? What do you got? Let me see.
Got the plain
You
Jane
got it,
apple.
oh, man. Oh, and Jerry's behind us. There we go.
got the Jer
Finally,
Bear.
you got a part of Jerry's body on the broadcast. I think that's the first time this season. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think it is, because last time he left me hanging like a middle school dance, and it was very unprofessional, if I do say so myself.
So, Alvin, your first year working with Jerry, what do you think?
I'm loving it. 239 guy, Collier County, stand up. We're having a fantastic time. We clicked. Everything's good. I love it here.
And our first time working with Braden Carter, our fantastic statistician, alongside Brandon Parham, who's just always been on hand for us, and he's excellent in doing his job as well. And everyone here at the Jer Bear broadcast crew, we always want to thank you for watching these games. We have a lot of fun putting them on, and, well, it's been a 6-month season, and we're finally to the end. And I was thinking about it. It's going to be weird only calling one basketball game in a day. I haven't done that in, well, since college.
What are you going to do with all this free time? I got my homework done,
Go
Mom.
for a swim. Maybe take up tennis.
Tennis sounds good. Get my Venus and
Blake, the mid-range. So that's the guy who they're going to look for. The lead back to within 20. It's at 19 for the Clermont Crocs.
That's how it's done, off the catch. Good job facilitating and getting a good shot to fall.
Cody Hoth, no. And that rebound just went right over Brandon Moss and into the luxurious hands of Kenny Long, but that one will go against the offense.
It didn't matter, because Caleb Winfrey had other plans for that that layup attempt by Cody. Caleb Winfrey is sending everything back. Just love the energy he's played with.
He sends it.
He sends it.
He sends it.
What a guy, huh? Getting married in December.
Clegg way downtown. Clegg here now in the fourth quarter with 11 points. (83-67) the score, 10:45 to go. Reynolds catch and shoot, just strong. Winfrey has the ball tipped away, but Moss will recover, and a loose ball foul on Kenny Long.
Right now, love the parlay attempt from Brandon Moss. We got some comedians in this league, I'll tell you that.
Especially you.
I love it.
Not to put you on the spot there, Alvin.
Dwayne Wade would be proud of me.
I know he would.
I'm proud of him.
Moss. Gullett fighting for the rebound. Down low. It's won by Cornelius Reynolds. So here's Reynolds. Other direction. Up strong. No. Steve Toiler the rebound. Him and Winfrey for the jump ball.
And that's Caleb Winfrey has just been phenomenal. The energy he's played with has just been outright spectacular. Right there, getting his hands involved with Steve Toiloy, trying to rip that rebound out. Just love the way he's played the game. He's not letting anything get past his championship mindset, winning time for Caleb Winfrey. Just love the way he's approached this basketball game.
The Flight on a 9-2 run here to start the fourth quarter. 10 minutes and 8 seconds left to go.
And they've done a phenomenal job of bringing it to a respectable distance. Clermont did a fantastic job of stretching it out, but now they're going to have to hang on to this lead and continue to play the way they've been playing. A lot of bickering going on, and I'm loving it. I'm here for every second of it. I wish we could get mics on the court.
Oh, we will one day. Toiloy against Winfrey at the free throw stripe. Toiloy already with 19 points in the ball game. He's a perfect 7 of 7 from the field and from the free throw stripe. Toss, won by the Crocs. Here's Long, who's got 10. Now goes left on a screen from Toiloy. Long, shifty, right side, 3, good! Woo! Kyle Clark! That's a big shot.
That was the hardest closeout. That's the best closeout you can possibly have in basketball. What a closeout by Caleb Winfrey, but an even better shot by Kyle Clark.
Moss right side, his team trailing by 19. Now gets into the lane and flips it up and in.
Well, you know what Brandon's going to do. Oh my goodness.
Moss with 36. Clark, another one. Off to the left side.
He didn't make that because he didn't use DJ Khaled's voice.
Moss to the left. Winfrey for 3. Just off the backside. And Glegg grabs it back. Moss again for 3. That one's good!
He's not going to miss 2 of them in a row. Brandon Moss, an elite shooter, elite scorer for this team.
Moss with 39. His team trailing by 14. The Flight on one heck of a run behind Brandon Moss's 39 points. What will happen? This guy is on fire. Some talking going on between these two teams, obviously, but they can settle it on the court in just a second. This is the Florida Basketball Association on YouTube and Facebook Live, presented by Poly Wealth Management.
Poly Wealth Management is an innovative provider of wealth management and financial planning services. For over 2 decades, our advisors have been providing clients with sound, professional, and unbiased financial advice, investment management, and wealth planning. Our philosophy has remained unchanged through the years, and that is to make what can be a complex process straightforward and easy to understand. We specialize in the creation and protection of wealth through comprehensive financial, insurance, and retirement planning.
Welcome back here to the fourth quarter. Just a little bit of time left to go in the ball game, and the Clermont Crocs need to find something because the Florida Flight are on one heck of a run, as I said before the break. Alvin, what's going on here for the Flight?
Flight figured out it's winning time. They just checked into the arena. That's what just happened. Now, the Clermont Crocs, they've done a fantastic job early on, and I expect them to punch back, and I'm excited to see what that punch is going to look like.
We'll go down to the floor now for the action. 86-72. 8:49 to go in the fourth. Here's Long inside, down low. Steve Toiloy over to the right. Good ball movement. Reynolds, they found the open man, but he airballed it.
What a pass by Kenny Long to Steve. Doing a good job of moving it down. Not able to get that shot to fall, but this is not what you want if you're the Crocs, because Mr. 40-man himself, Mr. League Leader in scoring, has the rock.
Moss, another one. No.
DJ Khaled, boys, I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to give you the keys.
Moss 5 of 13 from 3. That's his best three-point shooting this whole season. A travel by Kenny Long. Costly turnover. Now I'm interested to see here at the end of the game. When I talked to Coach King at the beginning, he was saying if we're in a close situation, we might consider fouling Toiloy, who shoots 43% from the free throw stripe.
That's an easy dub right there. You know that's the only person you want to foul on this team.
A turnover by Moss. Clark in transition is fouled by the leading scorer.
And interesting to see what these lineups are going to look like coming down the stretch. You know what Coach King and his side wants to do. They want to go with that 2019 championship team that they had, and that's the starters that they've gone with. And on the other end, Clermont, they have a couple of guys. They want to go with the starters with Mo as an addition, but Nick Turner is etching his way as a closer for this team.
Winfrey, good defense on Reynolds, who almost slipped there. And the three will not go in.
That's a great job boxing out by Aristide, giving Grant Gullett the stat, but Aristide doing a fantastic job of boxing out.
And Winfrey with the good defense there on Reynolds. And the foul coming over the top.
That's good
on Toiloy.
That's good footwork by Grant. Once again, able to bang with the big fellas and get his way to the line.
The Flight on a 10-3 run here in the fourth quarter.
Once again, the main man, Braden Carter, cannot speak enough good. He's kept us fueled. Marshawn Lynch would be proud. You know what we're eating. We're eating Skittles, Jesse. But that doesn't fuel Grant Gullett to get that free throw to fall.
Gullett's 70% from free throws this season. And Gullett missed both of them. How much do we talk about late game free throws, Alvin?
They are huge, and that's very uncharacteristic for Mr. 30 for 30.
Flight shooting 67% from free throw this season. And Cody Hoff just lost that one.
Mo Williams clearly frustrated for good reason. He had a couple of dimes throughout this game, and his teammates have not been able to corral them, or whatever the case may be. Just definitely frustration starting to come out, especially when the Flight are coming back and they're flying high and roaring as they have.
So we have a timeout on the officials, 86-72. Something might have happened, and hopefully we'll have an update for you when we return. Alvin doing a little dance right now. I hope you can get over here to see him in this. And as we go into the timeout break, I hope you all enjoyed that, whatever that was. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the game. We have a recent developing story on why we went to a timeout. And Alvin, would you like to tell the fans out there what just happened?
So there was a wardrobe malfunction. One of the officials just needed some extra stitches in his britches, if you will. Unfortunate circumstance to happen, but everything's figured out now.
You're great. You're doing well, bud. You actually got through that pretty well. No, you're not. He turned his mic off. All right, I guess I'm calling the game solo the rest of the game. Here we go, back down to the floor. 86-72 is the score.
And like I was just informed by my main man, Jesse O.
Ball off to left side.
A lull in action typically helps the down team, and the flight were soaring prior to that. So let's see if that holds true.
Are you okay, Alvin?
Oh, I am definitely
you gonna make
not.
it through the rest of this game?
I'm not sure.
Gullet the rebound.
That's a great job getting out of that double team. Oh, my.
Moss inside, good.
He's like a 2K player. He's just so athletically gifted in it to spin around and maneuver the ball like that. He's just great athlete.
Clark, good on that one. Lead back to 14.
Brandon Moss has been doing it all. He has 41 of the flight's 74 points. But let's not discredit this Croc team. Steve Toiloy is still 100% from the field in the stripe. I hope I didn't mess that up by uttering such nonsense.
Up top, Moss will pump it. And it's just off the front side. And he draws the foul.
Stitches in his britches.
Going into the fourth quarter, the Flight were on a 16-7 run.
Wow.
Yeah.
Before we needed stitches
In the britches?
in those britches.
So, I'm curious, was he just going free Willy out there?
Oh, Willie was free and trying to say hi. You know, that's what the stitches are for.
But the problem is he actually didn't get any stitches. He's just...
Oh, yeah, double-sided tape.
Yeah, free balling.
There's lots of balls on the court being dribbled, apparently, but Cornelius Reynolds able to get him between his legs and do things that no one...
Places that the sun don't shine might start getting some sun. Winfrey underneath the foul.
Wow, if Winfrey was able to get the proper English on that backboard, that would have been the most dynamic up and under I've ever seen. But the ball control was a little lackluster.
You ever seen that movie, Free Willy?
Oh, we're watching it live, Jesse. Oh, man. I'm sweating, Jesse.
I know you are. I can feel it.
Wow.
Yeah, go ahead and clear your throat, Alvin. Collect your thoughts. Stop thinking about... I can't even look at you. That's good. It's real good.
Oh, man. We're ready to rock
But
and
the best
roll.
part is you and Jerry have the same humor, though. During that timeout break, actually, Alvin and Jerry couldn't stay in their seats because, well, they're little children. Not that that's a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
Kids at heart.
You know, kids roll all around the place, having a great time.
88-75. 5 minutes left to go in regulation.
This is winning time.
A 13-point lead for the Crocs. Reynolds extends that to 15.
And that's just a great job by Clermont, obviously scoring that basket, but more so getting that much of a cushion in the first half, because now this Flight team is soaring, but they're coming back from so far, 30-plus points at some point. So very definitely a difficult ask.
Moss couldn't get that one to fall. 15-point lead for the Crocs. And an offensive foul.
That's a great job by Winfrey. You only get those calls when you fight through it, because when you're fighting through the screen and a guy moves, that's where the illegal situation happens. And Caleb Winfrey been playing hearts out. There's no reason to believe he would not fight through a screen. Great job by Caleb Winfrey forcing that issue.
Aristide was about to set a screen for Moss. Now he passes to the left. Gullett steps back on Reynolds. Now left corner, Caleb Winfrey. Moss left wing. They give up to Glegg, back to Moss. And Moss for three, it's good!
Wow.
12-point lead for the Clermont Crocs.
What a shot by Brandon Moss. This game just got a little bit more interesting, huh?
Yeah, it's a 12-point lead, 3:42 left to go. Mo Williams up top, just strong. Aristide the rebound, and he's fouled as he was coming down for it.
And one thing about it, the flight, they're playing how they're accustomed to playing. On the other end, for the Crocs, they're not moving the basketball as well as they have been before. On that possession, you were accustomed to seeing them with 4+ passes. On that one, they did not reach that benchmark, and it ended up in a miss. So the flight coming into their own late in this game, they settled down a little later than usual, but they settled down. And on one end, the Crocs trying to find their footing a little bit in this fourth quarter to handle the punching that the flight's been putting on them.
Billy Aristide to the line. And until that moment, he was 100%.
Wow, I was wondering, I was like, what does that mean? I'm not going to say anything. I was like, what's going on? I see what you're talking about. But
one 11-point lead for the Clermont Crocs.
So even the thought of it has power. That's kind of crazy. I feel like Dr. Strange. Oh my.
The step back from Clark. That ball tipped around. Mo Williams recovers. One step in front of the arc. Aristide the rebound.
It's been a while since we see a ball go in for the Crocs.
Glegg to Aristide. Now down to the right block. Brandon Moss has that one taken away by the Crocs.
I love that matchup with Cornelius Reynolds and Brandon Moss.
Reynolds through the lane, fouled.
Both of them wiry guys. Granted, Brandon's a little bit taller, jumps a little bit higher, but actually, I think Cornelius, he could jump with Brandon, but Brandon definitely got him on height. But I love how both of those guys are so quick and they're long, and Cornelius able to get the best of them. May have been a slick spot on that end. Brandon Moss wiping it down.
It's a big free throw miss.
Still can't take the lid off the basket. For the Crocs' sake, we hope that doesn't prove deadly.
Lead back to 12 for the Crocs, under 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Flight trailed by 34 points at one point in time in this game. Gullett for three, off the front. And that's the guy who's got to figure it out. Toiloy down low. Couldn't make the first one. That's his first miss of the season. And a jump ball.
And that one right there, I understand what Grant's saying because that was his rebound. That's a fantastic job ripping that ball away from Steve Toiloy. That looked like it could be Grant's ball if he blew that just a half second. But on the official's defense, those are two guys you don't want going after it. So you got to call that one. Just a tough break for Grant on that jump ball. But love the energy those two are playing with, battling on that block for these boards. 2 minutes and 31 seconds left in this game. It's winning time.
That was Toiloy's first miss of the game, and Grant Gullett wins the toss there.
So it happened. That first miss.
And Gullett's down on the ground. Moss to bring the lead within 10, and he does! Brandon Moss! Unbelievable! A 9-point lead for the Clermont Crocs. And Grant Gullett is down on the ground. Moss hitting a big three there. That's his 7th made three of the ball game.
Wow.
And he's on a roll. We're going to take a timeout with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to go. A 91-82 score in the ball game. We will be right back. Jerry Pettit, the man, the myth, the legend, here directing us in game 1 of the FBA Finals. 91-82, the score. Moss hit a big three. The lead cut to 9. Down low, that's stolen ball almost created by Grant Gullett. Now down low, Reynolds blocked by the basket, and you can't do that.
That's a great job trying to finish over the top, but two-handed dunks are hard, and in traffic, definitely a tough one. But you can't hang on the rim like that. I've never seen it attempted, though, so I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I
that
thought it
was
was
possible.
illegal, but I mean, I've never seen it until then.
91-82. Moss right side, up top, Glegg. Now through the traffic, mid-range. And the rebound by Reynolds. 1:34 to go.
This is going to be a great series because this game just showed us that these two teams are out for blood against each other.
And a charge on Montel Williams. It's an offensive foul.
And that's a great job by Grant Gullett putting his body on the line. Once again, we've seen that multiple times on both sides of the court. Grant Gullett doing it in crunch time.
A 1:24 to go.
You got to love when a man that has 47 points goes on the other end and wipes down the sweat. Something that you don't see a lot of superstars doing, but Brandon Moss, a true unicorn in not only skill set, but his attention to detail.
1:20 to go. Moss, left side, steps back for 3. That one's off to the left side. Reynolds the rebound.
Oh, he's going for 50. Jason Tatum, Devin Booker, he's on your next.
91-82, Moss 7 of 16 from beyond the arc. Reynolds inside, looking right, now back up top. Mo Williams will pump it. Cody Hoff the rebound. They need a box out down low. Mo Williams to Reynolds, and Reynolds hits the 3.
On each attempt that went up, it was Chris Winfrey chasing that down and trying to put his hand up to contest it. Got to find a way to get more guys closing out.
Gullett tried to hit one right back. That might be it. 31 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. A 12-point lead. Moss the steal. And he'll pass it to the right. Gullett, Moss to the right side. Glegg, good for 3.
Too little, too late.
Just under 16 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. 9-point lead for the Crocs. The Flight are in the bonus. And they still do have a few fouls to give. Moss, right corner 3. That one's good! They foul Steve Toyloy. 94-88 with 11 seconds to go.
Seems like too little too late, however.
Yep.
with Brandon shooting like that, Elliott hitting that big shot, and guys are doing what you know they could do on this flight side, they could possibly pull it out. Not impossible, but definitely improbable.
Since the end of the third quarter, the Flight are on a 30-13 run.
Wow. So it just goes back to that first half put on by the Crocs. If they weren't able to get so comfortable in that first half to create a lead like that, it should be a whole different ball game. But good job to this Croc organization for doing all they could do for 4 quarters.
The inbound to Clark. Right side, Cody Hoff. 7 seconds left to go. And a technical. Technical foul on Montel Williams.
That might prove costly.
Blake sinks that one.
Late game free throws. Elliott Glegg knocking that home. Now, Cody got to make both of them.
Cody's got to make both of them. It's a 5-point game. 6.1 seconds left to go in the fourth. Here's Cody Hoff from the free throw stripe. That one misses.
Wow. 6.1 seconds left. Down 5 for the Flight. Still a 2-possession game.
And he makes the second one. 6.1 seconds left to go. 95-89 is the score. Alvin, if you had to give the balls to someone on the Florida Flight roster, is there anybody else you can give it to besides Brandon Moss?
I mean, he has 50 points. He's done it 50 times. Why not 3 times more? I would definitely give it to him and let him decide what he's going to do with it.
I mean, Elliott Glegg's started to catch a little bit more of a fire here in the fourth quarter, but it seems like it might be a little too late for these guys just because, I mean, they went down early on in this game and they've just been fighting an uphill battle the whole entire time. And just speaking from experience, how hard is it to come back from a 34-point deficit if you've been there before?
So I've been down big, but we didn't win that game. So I can't say we successfully come back. The biggest deficit that I've in a playing career come back from was 20 plus. It was, I want to say 25-ish in basketball setting.
Okay.
But what it takes is you have to have a strong third quarter, and then from there you just keep it going, because when you're playing a good team, they're not going to let up, and that's what happened in this one. They're just down too far because the Crocs, they're still going to play their game. They're still playing with the same intensity they played in the first half that got them that lead. Now you're trying to play catch-up. Now what you're going to do is you're going to try to finish this game as strong as you can, so that way going into this next game you can hopefully keep that fire and continue to play that same way.
The amount to Moss. 4 seconds left to go. Moss a long three. Off to the right side. Cody Hoff the rebound. And the first game of the finals goes to the Clermont Crocs. 95-89 the score. What an unbelievable game that was. So we're going to take a break real quick from our broadcast. We'll be back for the post-game show in just a second. But what an unbelievable performance in Game 1 of the FBA Finals by the Clermont Crocs. We'll dissect this when we come back.
Sweet thing, I've been waiting for you all day long.
Ooh, dog. Welcome back to the post-game show. Jesse O, that's Alvin Delvey. Alvin, what an unbelievable performance by the Clermont Crocs here in Game 1 of the FBA Finals. They down the Florida Flight in this one, 95-89. And the Flight were battling uphill the whole entire second half. They were trailing by 34 at one point, and the money quarter won by the Clermont Crocs, and they ended up winning the game. So maybe there is a little bit of something to your money quarter. Well, welcome into the post-game show, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to just go over some of the players of the game real quick. Cornelius Reynolds had 21 points, along with 15 rebounds. He was in a triple-double watch all game, so he finishes with a double-double. Kyle Clark with 16 points, and Steve Toyle, the big man, with 19. Brandon Moss drops 15, shoots very well from 3 in this ball game, 8 of 18. So he had a valiant performance, but he didn't get much help other than that. The second leading scorer in the game was Elliot Glegg with only 15 points, Alvin. So they're going to need a few more from their guy, Grant Gullett, who only had 10. He was 2 of 12 from the field in this ball game. But let's pick our players of the game. Who you got?
I got to say Cornelius Reynolds very easily. He struggled in the first half. He was not able to find his shots really at the first quarter, and from there, his effort carried him through. He continued to stick with it, and he played phenomenal. Great job by Cornelius Reynolds and crew.
Next week, we will have Game 2 of the FBA Finals. So next Saturday and Sunday will be the final 2 games, Sunday if necessary, of the FBA Finals. And that one will not be played at our location here. We'll be playing in an actual arena, so we should be able to stream that one live. But what do the Flight have to do in order to get better?
They have to have a stronger first half. They came out very lackluster, and they're banking on their second half. However, Clermont's a second half team as well, so now they got a little bit of that jitter out of their system, a little bit of that lag out of their system. Maybe it could be a little bit of being tired from that onslaught the Oaks put on them last night, but they're going to have to come out strong in the first half. They're going to have to do a better job of finding their guys and getting guys in good positions to make baskets.
What a fun game that was. A special thank you to Brandon Parham and Braden Carter, our statisticians. They did an amazing job for us all game, and we're so lucky to have them. And what a fun day we had here. And Alvin, you and I actually have a game to call tonight, so we're going to get out of here. But there's still a lot more basketball left in the FBA, at least 2 more games to go. Or actually, at least 1 more game to go. Hopefully 2 more games. Who doesn't like a final game with everything on the line? We do. For Jerry Pettit, for Alvin Delvey, I'm Jesse O saying good night. The Florida Flight win this one, or lose this one, 95-89. The Clermont Crocs are the winners of Game 1 of the FBA Finals, presented by Poly Wealth Management. We'll see you next week. Good night.
Poly Wealth Management is an innovative provider of wealth management and financial planning services. For over 2 decades, our advisors have been providing clients with sound, professional, and unbiased financial advice, investment management, and wealth planning. Our philosophy has remained unchanged through the years, and that is to make what can be a complex process straightforward and easy to understand. We specialize in the creation and protection of wealth through comprehensive financial, insurance, and retirement planning.